Life moves faster than ever. Everything feels like it needs to happen as soon as possible. Not a millisecond can go by. Everything needs to happen right now. But what would happen if we had the patience to let things develop at their natural rhythms? Time is something that we have no control over, so patience begins with the acceptance of the natural rhythm. So why am I even talking about patience? Well, because I feel like there's a collective impatience in everything we do, even with the art we consume. We're so used to such a high density of content that we struggle to lengthen our attention spans. I mean, God forgive, we start feeling the tiniest pinch of boredom, because as soon as we start losing interest, we just jump to the next thing. How many times do you find yourself scrolling on your phone when watching a movie at home? And how many times do you feel the need to skip forward on an album you said you were gonna listen? But who's at fault here? Social media? Our obsession with high efficiency? Both? Neither? I don't think it really matters. Because there's really nothing we can do to stop the social machine. But the thing we can do, and well, the thing you can do, is open the door to inconvenience. Is it more convenient to open Netflix to watch a movie than go to the theater? Yeah, it's cheaper, it's quicker, and you have a nearly endless catalog to choose from. So yeah, in every sense of the word, it is way more convenient. But which experience would you say is better? I don't consider myself a film lover. I don't really watch a lot of movies, and I'm too lazy to go to the theater. But on the rare occasion that I go, I don't regret it at all. The whole experience is leagues better than watching at home. And at the end of the day, that's the way movies are meant to be experienced. I personally love music, and I try my best to listen to full albums. But the reality is that Spotify is not designed to do that. Spotify wants you to listen to as much music as humanly possible, even if that means skipping 10 songs at a time. So how do I do this? How do I achieve my musical listening goals? Well, by making skipping as hard as possible. That means using physical albums and playing them on a specific device that's out of my reach so that I have to stand up, manually change the track, and then come back. And I know it might not sound like the hardest thing in the world, but that's all it really takes. That minor inconvenience is big enough to not make me want to stand up and skip the track. And comparing how long it takes me to do that against skipping songs in Spotify, well, it just starts making sense. Okay, that shows how I listen to full albums, but how can making it harder to skip songs make the whole experience better? Because that's the main point, right? Well, the short answer is anticipation. Anticipation is more than just a fleeting emotion. It's a complex psychological phenomenon that plays a significant role in shaping our happiness. Researchers have discovered that the brain's reward system is deeply involved in this process. When we anticipate something positive, our brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This release of dopamine is why the build-up to an event can feel so exhilarating. See this graph right here? That's a cool graph, right? Look at it. Examine it. This is a visual representation of my excitement for a concert. This means that the build-up begins as soon as I get the tickets. It starts right here. And it just keeps growing until the date finally arrives. This peak, this spot right here, the top, the very peak, is my excitement level when the lights go out, right before the show. All the waiting, all the build-up, all the months, all the excitement, it just culminates into one moment. It reaches its highest point, and when the show finally starts, it hits you. The reward. The feeling of finally reaching that goal. And I'm pretty sure this graph applies to everything we enjoy in life. But when we don't have the time to build anticipation, the payoff is not as big, right? I hope you see where I'm going with this. When watching a movie on Netflix, the whole experience starts when you decide to watch a movie on Netflix. You sit down on the couch, you open the app, you start scrolling, you decide what to watch, and you start doing it. Simple, quick. It might take you 15 minutes, right? But when you go to the movies, The whole experience starts when you actually decide to go to the movies. It includes the drive, buying the tickets, choosing your seats, maybe getting some snacks, getting to your seats, watching all the trailers for the upcoming movies, and then finally you get the movie. It might not be as intense as the build up for a concert, but there is some kind of build up, some anticipation. You are waiting for the thing that you want. Plus, bigger screen, better audio, no distractions, and you get the whole experience, the way movies were meant to be watched. But how do I apply this to music? It's not like I go to concerts every week. Let me show you. In these two scenarios, I'm making the same decision. Play Boston's debut album. In scenario number 1, it takes me 20 seconds. In scenario number 2, it takes me at least 2 minutes. And you might think that 2 minutes, it's not that long either, but it's 6 times more than scenario number 1. And there's another factor to consider. In scenario number 1, as soon as I hit play, I resume whatever I was doing. And in scenario number 2, I'm still engaged with the music. I'm isolated from other distractions. It's just me, the music, and the artwork. It creates a different connection to the album. You can physically touch it, so it's a more complete experience. You get some build up, you physically interact with it, and you can't skip the songs. You have to experience the whole thing. The next time you want to play an album or watch a movie, ask yourself, what's more important, the convenience or a better experience? Thanks for watching.